Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going deep, and I mean deep, into something that sounds a little crazy at first.
Crazy good, maybe.
We'll see about that. It's about this unexpected connection, get this, between the smell of gunpowder on the moon and poetry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you heard that right. Gunpowder on the moon.
Ah,
I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi flick, but apparently there's some truth to it. At least that's what Stephen Pinkwart claims in his latest article.
yeah.
He talks about how the Apollo 11 astronauts, when they landed on the moon, they were hit with this weird smell, like spent gunpowder.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I got to ask, have you ever come across this lunar aroma theory before?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like one of those space facts that always gets people raising their eyebrows.
Right. It's like,
You think about the moon, you think about like silence and emptiness, not exactly fireworks and gunpowder.
but so is it really true? Like, did those astronauts actually get a whiff of the 4th of July up there?
It's not a myth. The moon dust, the stuff that covers the moon's surface, it does have a smell. And yeah, a lot of people describe it as smelling like spent gunpowder or even like fireworks.
So, okay, the moon smells weird, but how does this random smell relate to poetry? It's not like they were up there, writing sonnets about craters.
Right.
Haha.
Well, not exactly. But you see, that's where Pinkwart's article gets really interesting. He uses this unexpected smell as kind of a metaphor to show how important details are when you're writing.
Ah, okay. I see where you're going with this. I guess saying like the moon smells like gunpowder is definitely more captivating than just saying the moon has a smell.
Exactly.
But hold on. How do we actually use this idea to write something, something truly compelling?
So Pinkwart's main point is that those small specific details, those sensory details, they can totally change your writing. They can make it go from, just blah to brilliant. Like instead of saying a character is sad, you could describe them holding a scarf that smells like a winter that's long gone.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah, I can almost feel that sadness, that longing just from that one detail.
Wow.
It's amazing how powerful that can be. It's making me think about how how I can use this in my own writing. What else does Pinkware talk about?
Well, he's got a bunch of great tips, but there's this one that really stuck with me. It's about using unexpected twists, unique perspectives. He calls them surprises that stick.
Surprises that stick. I like that.
Yeah. So think about it. Like instead of writing, a typical love poem, you make it a duet between a cactus and a passing cloud.
A Texas in a cloud. That's interesting.
Right. It makes you stop and think. It's fresh. It's intriguing. It makes you want to keep reading. Yeah, it's like you're taking something familiar, and giving it this unexpected twist, and suddenly, boom, it's new and exciting.
Okay, I'm getting that. But hold on. How does a cactus pining after a cloud?
Yeah.
How does that relate back to this whole moon dust thing? I feel like we've jumped like light years away from our original topic.
Well, that's the cool thing about how Pinkwart thinks. He's showing us that even when you're writing about something huge and mysterious like the moon, you can still make it relatable by using those familiar experiences, those everyday things.
You mean like how the smell of moon dusts like brought back memories for the astronauts?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, we all have those smells, those scents that can instantly take us back to a certain time, a certain place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see the connection now.
Yeah.
It's about using those sensory details, those parallels to everyday life to make even the most, out there concepts feel grounded, feel real. It's brilliant, really. But, sometimes I struggle to actually capture those little details in my writing. Like I can see the scene in my head, but the words, they just fall flat.
I know what you mean.
Any tips on how to make those moon dust moments, as Pinkwart calls them, how to make them really pop on the page?
Well, one thing Pinkwart says is to go beyond the obvious, like really dig into those sensory details. Don't just say, the old bookstore smelled musty.
Right.
Try something like, the air hung heavy with the scent of aged paper and leather, like a forgotten library was whispering secrets.
Wow, yeah, that's way more vivid. It's like I can practically feel the dust on my fingers just listening to that.
Exactly.
But what about when you want to create that surprise, like with the cactus and the cloud example? How do you even come up with those kinds of unexpected twists?
Well, Pinkwart suggests playing with contrasts, with juxtapositions. Like, imagine you're writing a sci-fi story and you need to introduce a spaceship. But instead of describing it as like this sleek metallic thing, what if it's actually a giant sentient potato?
A giant potato spaceship.
Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely unexpected.
Right. It's quirky, it's funny, and it immediately makes you want to know more. Like, how does a potato spaceship even work? Where is it going? It sparks your curiosity.
I'm already imagining all the adventures you could have on a potato spaceship.
Exactly, and that's what those moon dust moments are all about. They challenge how we think. They make us look at things from a different angle, a more imaginative perspective.
They're like little bursts of creativity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Adding that extra something
yeah.
to your writing. But sometimes, I get so caught up in trying to be clever, trying to be original, that I lose sight of what the story's really about.
That's a good point. And Pinkwart actually addresses that. He reminds us that even with all the fancy techniques, the best writing always comes from, well, from the heart, from connecting those big themes to small personal stories. Like he uses the moon gust example, It reminds him of seeing fireworks for the first time and that feeling like the world was full of wonder.
Yeah, that's a feeling everyone can relate to.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you've been to the moon or not. Those universal human experiences, those are the things that really connect with people.
It's not just about, dazzling them with fancy words.
Right.
It's about making them feel something.
Absolutely. It's about touching their hearts as well as their minds. And what's really inspiring is that Pinkwart sees these moon dust moments as more than just a writing technique.
Oh,
Yeah, he sees them as a way of life, a way to live a more engaged, more meaningful life.
so you mean like being present, noticing the little things, being open to the beauty that's all around us.
Exactly. It's about finding the poetry in everyday life
Mm.
and letting those small moments inspire us to create something extraordinary. It's like he's saying, hey, the world is full of these amazing details just waiting to be discovered, waiting to be part of your stories.
And speaking of discoveries, at the end of the article, Pinkwart mentioned something called the Poetry Master. What is that exactly?
Well, from what I understand, it's like this program, this tool he's created to help people bring those moon dust moments to life in their writing. It sounds like a kind of comprehensive guide for anyone who wants to, improve their storytelling skills, whether they're writing about the moon, memories, or even social issues.
He even says something like, they say words can change the world. The Poetry Master shows you how. That's a pretty bold statement.
It is.
Do you think it's true?
I do believe words have power.
Huh.
When you use them carefully, when you use them with intention, they can inspire people, move people, even change people. And I think that's what Pinkwart's trying to do with the Poetry Master, give people the tools to use language in a powerful way, to share their stories with the world.
That's really powerful. But I got to be honest. Sometimes I feel like my words just get lost in the noise. Do you think these techniques can really make a difference, even for someone who's not, a professional writer?
Yeah, I think the message is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you've written 100 books or, if you're just starting out.
Right.
It's about being more aware,
Yeah.
more observant, seeing the beauty and the wonder that's all around us.
Yeah.
It's about finding those moon dust moments in our own lives and then using them, letting them inspire us to see the world in a new way. It's about being open to the unexpected and finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
I love that idea. But how do we go from like a concept to something real? How do we actually find and capture those moon dust moments?
Well, the great thing is they're everywhere. You just have to, start paying attention.
Yeah. Okay.
Look for those little things, the details that catch your eye, that make you feel something, that make you stop and think, wait a minute, that's interesting. And then, write them down, take a picture, or just remember them. Let them sink in and see what connections you start to make.
It's like we're learning to see the world through this whole new lens, one that makes us appreciate the beauty and the wonder that's often hidden in plain sight.
Exactly. And Pinkwart actually says something really beautiful at the end of his article. He says, maybe the real magic of life isn't about those big adventures, It's about learning to appreciate those little moments that make life so, so special.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Sometimes I get so focused on the big picture that I forget to look at what's right in front of me.
We all do that. But the power to find joy, to find inspiration, even meaning it doesn't have to come from those big gestures
Right.
or extraordinary circumstances. It's in the smell of freshly cut grass or the way the sunlight dances on a river. It's in the sound of someone you love laughing. Those are the moodless moments that make life worth living. They're what fuel our creativity, and they connect us to something bigger than ourselves.
Wow. This whole conversation has been like a giant moon dust moment for me.
Yeah.
It's made me realize that I need to be um, more present, more in tune with those little things that spark my imagination.
And what's even better is that this whole idea, it's not just for writing or poetry, it's for anything you do, whether you're a musician, a painter, a chef, or just someone who wants to live a more mindful life.
So for anyone listening who wants to start collecting their own moon dust moments,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them? Where should they start?
Just start paying attention. That's all. Look for those details that catch your attention, that make you feel something. Write them down, take a picture, or just enjoy them, and then see where they take you.
It's like we're training ourselves to see the world in a whole new way.
Exactly. And if you want some help with, actually using those moon dust moments in your creative work, Pink Wart's Poetry Master Program it's a great place to start. He's even offering a discount right now for anyone who wants to unlock their storytelling potential.
Yeah, we'll make sure to include a link in the show notes.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, we want to leave you with this one thought. What are your moon dust moments? What are those small, seemingly insignificant things that have changed how you see the world? Take some time to think about them and maybe, find a way to use them in your own creative work or even just in your everyday life.
Because it's in those details, those unexpected connections, that we find the beauty, the meaning, the magic of being alive.
Yeah.
Mit poetischen Grüßen, Stefan vom Bahn-Slam Kanal.
Yeah.